Hello, hello, good afternoon. This is a market update to for the week that is coming to an end. I just wanted to leave some thoughts here about what's going on, and I'm going to be posting these updates here in the Discord, in the update. And let's see how it goes. Okay. All right. We early in the morning during the stream we talk about what the market was, what could potentially be happening in the market when the market re-entered this range, and the market coming back into this inside day, right? And how refractory trading can be. I'm talking just about trading, okay? Not talking about investment, nothing, just trading. And the odds that today or this week could be mostly trading were high, right? Just activity high. And what happened here, or what's happening now, right? What happened here first during this break I believe, has good odds that have to do with this action that happened here after the breakout, with extremely weak underlying here going on. The underlying was very weak, the breakout was very weak. And what I think is happening now has a lot to do with this day, right? With this day in here. After the market failed to dig deeper into this 10-day range we have here. We were talking how if we want to have some kind of view of the market, a continuous view of the market, we can use a SPY. We can use the SPY here without doing any change within contracts. Without going from December to March. December is gone, it's long gone. We have only March here. And we have to be, when I do my market when I do my homework, I always have to look to both, right? Until one is gone and the other one start to take over. But the SPY can give us a kind of like a smooth view, right? You can see, or we can see the 10-day range here, for example. To see that in the current contract, how to use the current contract. If I use the non-adjusted or adjusted, I will see variations, right? That can be misleading here. During the session, once the market re-entered this inside bar, notice where the market has closed. It has just closed seconds ago. Notice where it has closed. It closed inside this bar. It hasn't taken the low this yet. It has given us a weak low, a questionable low here. There's nothing here in this day that can be used as a reference for this low, right? But what I'm doing instead is it's right there, almost to the tick to where this distribution is. Usually, I won't pay attention to this day anymore after the market has traded a couple times back and forth through this. But we have thin markets today. The odds that short-term traders are in full display today or this week and maybe the next week as well are high. For the next week, we have only a couple more days, 2 more days for next week. Right? There's a lot of back and forth from the 50 moving average. Notice where the 50 is in the SPY here. Notice where the 50 is in the current contract. This is the current contract here. The non-adjusted 50 is 59.74. It's way down here. All right, market didn't reach that one. It's rather using this one right now. But you can see how mechanical this trade is. When I close the stream in the morning, I close with something. I close, I believe, what I say just before closing is the last thing I wanted to be, or the risk of being short was high. Because at the time, E was exactly the D high, C high. I believe the market was down here around this area. E did not take D, C highs yet at the time. But the thing is, it did it just after, maybe within the next minute or two after I closed the stream. And this is what, and we were talking at the time about this formation here, this W formation here that we have here, right? That behavioral, not behavioral, that whole traders, or how we as humans have the tendency to find patterns. No? We were talking about if we go outside and check the sky, we won't see just clouds, right? We will see shapes that are the shape we see will be associated with the bias that each one of us may have. Same thing happens in market, right? And one of the things that I have put here in where I did, I guess here, or maybe here, yeah. One of the things that we need to do is, this, we have to know ourselves. We have to know. So it's very important as it is to know, to study markets, is extreme importance to study ourselves. Only if we do that, we will understand and we will know, get to know our weakness, our strengths, our tendencies, our biases, how we tend to act when we are, let's see, under pressure, when we are, if we are trading, for example, when we are happy, when we are, all those things, right? How emotions can affect our behavior. That's the goal here. Each trader is different. And that's why I say, and I take this from Jim, trading cannot be taught, right? If I am going to be trying to teach something, I may try to show some market dynamics here, but the trading part has to come from you. And all the answers for that are just inside you, inside each one of us. And the answer can be different for each one. It is amazing how this works. All the answers that we're looking for in levels, in patterns here, like this one here, or maybe like this one here. We always are looking, when we start in this business, we are always looking for the magic, this magic number, the magic indicator that will fix all our problems, right? And when I don't know when it's going to happen, if it ever happens to me or to you, but when we realize that there's a moment when we realize that all that we were looking for was always inside of us, always. Yeah, but that takes time. Now coming back to the market, when I closed the morning stream, I was talking about this. This is what traders call, and this happens all the time, man. This happens all the time. This is what some people call bull trap, short trap, or whatever. When the market takes this high and just get the emotions of the traders, now we are going to come back all the way up to here. Now my position is working. Now my dollar average position or level is right there. It's very close. Finally, I'm going to recover what I have lost from yesterday, whatever. And when the market starts to move in the opposite direction, those who have that mentality will, the pain will be just unbearable and will close. Right? How do you close your position? Right? You sell, right? And that, I believe, may have something to do with what happened here after that. It never challenged this area, which is the area where everything started for this upside. And we talk about this area here and this area here also in today's stream. We have a gap, have an inside day so far, and what we have watched here is another. This was just unbelievable, right? How this really nonsense level is being used multiple times here, just the same way as was happening here. It's happening here, but this thing, right? Don't get used to this, because the odds that this is going to happen next week or next year are, I'm not going to say zero, but they are decreasing, right? Because next year, beginning next year, traders are coming. It's a new year, just a new year. Traders, more bigger time frame, or there will be coming to the market after the vacations, after ends of year vacation, and this is a new cycle. The cycle that we have here, to be trading this week, which is very thin. The odds that we're going to have wide ranges or wide swings also are high because markets are thin. This happens once a year. This happens at the end of the year. And for this to repeat, right, to have two experiences here, 2 years have to happen. Can you see the cycle? How this is the end of the year cycle here. We are in right now. I'm trying to figure that out, to position ourselves, to put that thing in context, is what many times most traders forgot to do. They just pay attention to price, what it's doing, it's going higher, I'm going to buy the market, this market is going lower, I'm going to sell this market. They just go with what the market is doing without putting price in context. And to get out of that trap, it takes time, right? They don't even realize that here, just like a teenager, right? Teenagers don't realize they are teenagers. And I know that because I was one of them. And today I have seen maybe two opportunities here, right? One was the breakout, once the market built volume here based on what we have here, volume here, volume here. It failed to re-enter, failed to close the gap and re-enter this range, targeting the opposite side of this range. Very mechanical. The odds that the market was going to target this low were high because the odds that the short-term trends that the present and the short-term trends were high in this market were high. Just because of that, right? We have this. That was one. Another one, I haven't taken this one. And the other one, I did some longs here when the market. I guess the stream also was I did close the stream when we were having this breakout of this 22 level here, almost breakout in the ES, following just getting in sync with Nasdaq and the other markets as well, right? And after that, it fails, right? And of course, when the market comes back again, it's going to do the same. It's going to sell, right? That's the thinking here. That what I'm trying to get in the mind of the traders here. because it was sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, whatever, right? It was sold from this level, and it's going to be sold again. And we have something here, right? But it did not close this distribution here, did not close this one here, right? And when market, in this case, you got to have a plan here. You got to have for an entry, what the market needs to do, how I stay, how I monitor the trade, or how I'm going to close. I took a couple trades here with mixed results here, but it wasn't aimed to go that high. Rather than watching this, I was watching this area here, this 2K from this day, because traders have the tendency to use the same areas, same levels that they have used in the past. If one level was support before, now it's resistance. One level was resistance, now it's support. They have that tendency, and that's the reason why I was watching this one. I have used, once the trader started to work, I started to monitor where I move my stop. And of course, trading with the stop is primordial here. It has to have a stop here, because the stop, or if using options, the cost of the options is the risk that I'm willing to take. That this market, that's the risk that I'm assuming, right? To prove my thesis, to prove my theory is right. And who is going to prove that? The market. I am the only one who can take profits, right? The market is going to tell me how much I can take, but I have to take action. That I am also, in this case, I am the only one who can take losses. How much I'm going to be willing to spend to prove that my theory is right is totally up to me now. Right? Look at, for example, right here. Well, this 10 minutes back and forth on the 50 moving average here. Now, for next week, I also expect about the same mentality here, the same mindset may be present, but I am going to be putting this day as a main reference now. Instead of these two here or these two here, this is going to be, what the market does relative to this day is what I'm going to be monitoring here. There was some, my last trade was a long here. When I see this market going higher here, I took a long way below what is now POC, and because the market was going really fast, and my thought at the time was, gosh, this looks like a short covering, and the potential was huge here. The potential was coming up here and maybe closing the gap. I have seen that happening really fast, right? And because markets are thin, just because markets are thin, it is the end of the week. Who wants to go short for home over the weekend? Nobody knows what's going to happen, for example, right? That was a play. And again, it stopped here, it stalled here. It didn't have upside continuation. Okay, I should have closed. Instead of closing, I moved my stop higher, I guess I'm a little bit higher than the 50s, but I should have closed myself. And why I say that, because what I want to emphasize here is we should be able to close, to get out of the market by our own hands. And that's the habit, and I took this from Jim. That's the habit that we need to build. Getting in and getting out is an option. I shouldn't let the market get me out. Took my stop out. I should, because I don't want to get used to that. I want to be me who gets out. Because when it's working, okay, it's fine. But when it's not working, it's the other scenario here. Okay? As I say, for next week, I'm going to approach the market, if I do anything, because I believe it's very, very thin market. But to begin the week, being the same mindset, trying to one day at a time. This week started really good. Actually, it has a nice opening over the weekend. Nice opening. The market basically closed where it opened. Where it opened at the beginning of the week. It's right there. Right? Settles here, right there. There is an unchanged market relative to this 2-day balance. Well, disregarding this high here, and again taking this big break as a reference now. What's going to happen? I have no idea. I have no idea what's going to happen. All right, in the lower side, this area is a potential support resistance, and market might be watching this. The odds, again, this is end of the week, end of the year, end of the month. There's a lot of things that can happen here. The same thing that happened to the downside after this 10-day. Let's check, for example, here. This was a big range in what happened. This is an election gap in the ES. What happened here in the ES, we have the election gap. This is the 6 or something time the market has attempted to close the gap. The bigger the gap, the harder for the market is to close the gap, and usually it takes more than one attempt to do that. This could be the same thing that happened here during this break. Now, it can happen to the upper side as well. That's why that is the information that I am carrying on. Non-access here, non-access here, non-access here, non-access here. This is just really crazy here. Very weak selling here. And the same thing goes to the downside as well. All right, that was it. I hope you have once again, hope you have a wonderful day, and I wish you a good, great weekend. Enjoy the weekend. See you next week. Bye bye.